something that your favourite bank, possibly now, particularly in this day and age, simply does not want you to know? As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here. Nice to have your company. I hope you're all keeping well. The bells of I know you love the bells. I love the bells. Apparently, I don't know if you know this, but there was a recent study that said listening to church bells had a calming effect for those that are suffering from sort of, worries and stresses. I can believe that, can't you? Yes. Yes, it's still going. Oh, yeah, it's still another one. Very calming, isn't it? Not so much can you imagine if it's late at night. And this particular church does keep the bells going, shall we say. I don't know whether they're automated or if there's somebody jumping up and down on a rope all night, but you have to admire whatever they're doing. Back as ever, though, to your breaking story of the day. We've often said here on the show, haven't we, about the cost of living crisis, how difficult it is, just to keep the pennies being saved, coming in, all of that sort of stuff. And when you look back to your childhood, again, I'd love to know what you think in the comments below. What tricks did your parents do to make sure they kept their budget under wraps? Mine, I have to say, were excellent at managing money. Didn't have a lot of it, so it was quite easy, as you can imagine. But the bottom line was, we didn't have everything disposable, did we? I've often said also here on the show that I find this sort of, card culture where you simply tap in all the time. You don't have that value of money. I often think when you're parting with money, the physical act of thinking, okay, here's £5, you give me £3 back, that's now what I've got left for today or whatever, makes you think about what you're spending. When I talk to the younger generation, they have no idea until their bills come through, and then they make some sort of hard look and think, oh, I might stop buying the coffees every day, but it never happens because they live in a different culture. Now, a recent survey has found, yes, at the start of 2023, that like so many of us educated people here on this channel, all of us, in fact, yes, you, talking to you, we all like still to use majority of cash. And this is because we can manage the business, the business of us living, that's the deal, isn't it? I often say, it's very strange, isn't it? If you don't have the cash, you tend to put things back. If you have the card, you think, oh, okay, I'll just put it on the card. And that really is the bottom line. Now, the banks don't like this because, as you can see, they're actively closing branches around the world and, slimming staff down. I don't know if you've got this where you are in your part of the world, but they keep these little branches open called hubs, right? And you go in and you want to do something, but you can't do it. I don't know why they keep them there. The girl has no idea, or the man. And they say, oh, you need to go to the bigger branch. So what's the point of you being open then? You can't do anything for me. They're just sitting there filing their nails or playing on their phones, You kind of wonder, well, what's the point? But as I say now, they've realized that cash is coming back. Bigger problems, not just for the bank, but more importantly as well, more importantly, should I say, for the supermarkets too. They've got rid of all their cashiers. They don't want staff. They don't want them to assist you. You bag it, scan it, pay for it yourself and sling your oak. They don't care about you. But now, in this cost crisis, they're having to rethink about how they bring people back to make sure they can extract every little penny that we're willing to part with. It didn't take long, did it? It always takes a shift in social sort of climate to make sure that they realize that really you can credit card, but what if you can't get credit? And as so many people are now finding in this cost of living crisis, credit is simply running dry. Somehow, somewhere, cash can be found. However little we all might now have, a lot less of it. As ever, I'd love to know what you think to the arrival at certain points, at least, of the return of cash. Are you a cash person? Do you still simply just like to credit card it? Or do you agree that you can better budget with the little money that you now have in your purse or your wallet? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.